Welcome back. Just Enough Garage. Johnny and I got us a new project. Let's check it out. Okay, story time. This Willys truck I just got off the fella. We're gonna take a look. This is the walk around. Let's walk around. He claims it's a Camaro subframe, small block Chevy, great big hood scoop, plastic. He claims it had a 671 on it once upon a time. It's a blower. All that stuff's gone. The engine's there. Don't know the condition. Typical Willys handles. Hey John, open that for me. Homemade box. Super wide tires. This has all been remade. Inside comes with mufflers, floor automatic, different swing pedals. No title. Sunroof. I got to deal with the title on my own. It belonged to a friend of his. The friend of his passed away some years ago. He took on the project. Didn't ever finish it. It just sat outside. It's got a small bumper on the back that's tweaked. They said they had louvered that. They built the whole bed, this group, back in 1995, I think is what he was telling us. Anyways, we're going to get it home, offload it from the trailer, take a look at it. As you guys know, my Willys rat rod is very similar. This one's different. This is full-bodied. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. We're going to check it out. Oh, and what it came with was a set of these torque thrusts that the fellow I bought it from had bought. He's got skinnies and bigs. Custom offset, new tires, 31 by 12s, and then what the heck are these? Anyways, they're tire little pizza cutters. Full set. I paid extra for those because it felt like the right thing to do, and he got some of his money back. Anyways, let's get it home and take a look at it. Wow, we haven't seen Mary in a while.
I've been around, not out here.
She says I got to come out and look at this pink behemoth. So here she is. We're laughing at it. We haven't even identified the engine, but let's just talk money without talking money. Mickey Thompson valve covers, that's $100. Intake manifold looks to be aluminum, but no, maybe it's just painted.
Yeah.
I don't know. They got their own diverter plate, which is good. We also noticed the alternator's missing. Someone tried to run it on a fuel jug. There's no fuel pump, so they must have been using electric. If you look way down in there, I'll try to zoom it.
I can see it from my side.
You see there's a rock right down there in the crank.
I found some more prizes over here.
Yeah.
We got a pine cone with the steering column. Yeah. And then we got this ball of paper. Let's see if I can do it this way. Just...
that's the dipstick tube, kiddo.
Just stuffed in there. I know, but that's the plug.
But you also notice there's no exhaust manifold, no header, nothing. Some kind of something. Apparently, he was saying that it sat forever under a pine tree somewhere.
If you couldn't tell.
And then he washed it, brought it home. And then got power steering. But
and
it's
a
got,
radiator we have no clue about.
Yeah, it's held in with zip ties and hopes. He was also talking about, let me see if I can step off the trailer. It's got these pretty cool jelly bean mags all the way around. It's got drum brakes in there. So if it is Camaro or Firebird or something, it's first generation. Turbo 350 most likely. I haven't tried to see if the engine will turn. Let me show you the other prizes. The door doesn't open enough. Sunroof, mismatched seats, extra mufflers, floor shift automatic, look like it's out of a Ford car or something. Dashboard. Ooh, gauges. Yeah, this was all homemade. Big wide aluminum wheels. But part of the prize too was he purchased with the price was a set of these that he had bought for it, and he was going to do projects, and he's in a situation where he had to move and stuff, so that was what was going on.
There's not even water in the master brake cylinder.
Oh, nice. Louvers, then they filled with water and rusted out.
Oh.
Tail lights, they said, were kind of new at the time.
Let's not forget the tailgate latches.
Oh yeah. Tailgate latches, push button seatbelt stuff. Looks like a Ford stuff. Maybe that's where they got the shifter and the seatbelts from the same car. That's your gas tank, and yes, that's full of water. There's been no cap on it for eons. This was last.
Like it was stored in the ocean.
This was last licensed 12 years ago, so it's been off the road for at least 12 years. This is where the battery is. These guys made all this. They made all this whole bed, everything. They made all that back in the 90s. He was saying he thought it was on the road first in 95. The reason for the pink, he says the reason we did pink is that we had 14 cans of pink paint, and one night that's what they colored. They painted it, spray paint. This hood was louvered. As you can see, it's louvered. And then they had a 671, he thought, and they put that on for a while, so they cut the hole in the hood. Then the 671 came off, then they put the hood scoop back on. I don't see how that could ever have worked, but you know, you only go with what somebody tells you. And it's mixed with memory, so yeah, we'll get it off the trailer here. Looks like they had problems with the heater core. They looped the lines. Yeah, there's a lever inside on those, and they flip up.
Yeah, I know that on the rat rod you have it propped up with a construction pencil.
Yeah, because it wouldn't stay up. The piece of chrome is missing. So he was telling me he thought the doors were older than the cab, and of course the grill is from the 50s. So I don't know. Let's unload it, Mary, and take a look at it, see if it'll run.
What are we gonna pull it up there with? The Jeep?
Oh, maybe we'll put a battery in it. I mean, it should sound all right without a header on there. I got to do some research.
Is that going to be our gas tank?
No, this is...
Oh, are we going to go get gasolina?
I don't know. I don't know.
Is gasolina still in the 74?
No. Yes. Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
We'll
get back to you when we come up with a plan.
I think I want to pressure wash it and everything before we roll it in there. Yeah, let's take a look. This is a clip normally I wouldn't show people. Using an antique Willys Jeep to move an antique Willys Jeep off a trailer. Because I live on a hill that goes uphill, we're doing it this way. I'm going to set you up. Mary, this is... Every time we do this, it's preparation for clown music. Every time. And it frustrates me because here it is, a Sunday afternoon, it's getting dark. I'm trying to rush through to get my weekend done. And all I wanted to do is spot this Jeep for the next video. But it's taken me 30 minutes to get this far. John, throw that thing in neutral. This is what we were talking about. If you're going to do a YouTube channel, John, you need to have 10 acres of gravel and pavement.
Yeah.
Because, of course, when the weight came off, the trailer sprung up. But, of course, the wheels came off before the trailer hitch came off. So, of course, those bolts decided to hook there, putting a whole stop to the whole assembly. So now we've got to push the trailer down, lift the truck up, pull it, yippee-ki-yay, you know. Anyways, now we can get the door open at least. Ooh, an electric fan. Ooh, new mufflers. Ooh, some kind of dead rat. No, that's just carpet piles. Pretty typical Willys stuff, really. We found some keys. You guys remember I scrapped a red 77 Chevy this summer for a 350 engine, which ironically I'm talking about putting in here now because this engine's kind of hammered. Anyways, I saved the keys because I saved the steering column. Now the question is any of this GM ignition key gonna fit the GM ignition that is missing a key? Will it? Could it? Should it? There's no way. Oh! Did it do it without it? No, didn't matter. Stupid! Well, it looks good anyways. John, it turns without a key, so our key fits perfect.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
So you got a plan back here?
I think this will do it.
Yeah, that's hokey McJokey. I think, yeah, that's where you want to go. You want to lift that. Put your back into it, all with your back.
Yeah, totally.
Oh man, you're getting it. You're getting it. Let me pull on the front. Let's put it.
right, go. It's off the trailer now.
Riding cowboy, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, that bungee cord was what was holding you back.
Oh, totally. Totally got the both stuck into the trailer.
See, that must have been at that bungee cord right there. Those are stronger than they look.
I guess.
Yeah, this
Didn't
always
break it though, so that's a good one.
This always frustrates us because this is the way it kind of goes when we're unloading uphill. Of course, it didn't help that that tire won't hold air. Of course, it is fine that you got a big, powerful engine, but I only just put it in two-wheel drive just to... Anyways, here we go. We're done. So now, the real secret for us... Ooh, bird catcher. The real secret for us is we've got to get it turned around and backed in where Johnny's truck was the other day. And the brakes are dragging. The guy showed us how the brakes work by jamming on the brakes, and all that immediately did was seize the brakes. So we've been battling that. So
Yeah.
I think what we'll probably do, John, imagine this, is we'll take a board, put it behind the trailer, push this uphill, and then all we got to do is just back it around that bathtub and right in.
Why don't we just take one of your good batteries in the shop, hook it to that, pull it forward.
Because I hate that truck.
But that one runs.
Yeah, well, this might be it for tonight. It's in the shop. I can...
You can close the gate.
Yeah, I mean, tomorrow we might... But it could be raining like hell tomorrow. Today it's nice.
Yeah, or we can take 10 minutes, put a battery in that, see if it'll start again.
It'll start.
Drag this up there.
Yeah.
And then you can roll it back.
All right, either way, we'll think about it. Okay, so we got this idea. That's the way Boston-y type people would say it. Idea, I got an idea. We'll hook that to the leaf spring. Hook that to the Jeep. This is the idea. Hey, turn that bolt over and it won't fall out.
Yeah.
The idea is this. Thus, this. When that Jeep pulls that Jeep, it's going to be pulling the back end this way at the same time it's coming forward. And we'll pull that back in right around using our imagination. No, using traction. Bald tires, wet pavement.
You gonna put it in four-wheel drive this time?
I haven't needed to. I was trying to pull the truck uphill earlier. And then we'll pull that right around. The Jeep will go in the shop. Bob's your uncle. We'll roll it back. I think you're going to want to turn the wheel to the right, John. And at some point, let this block of wood be your friend. Okay. To the right. Yes, the right. Right. Turn right. Turn right. Righty-tighty. We're going to tight. John?
I'm turning the wheel to the right.
I don't want to go right. I want to go... Oh, I'm backwards of you. I want that wheel pointing towards
so
that
you're
way.
Dyslexic as well. Yeah.
That way, John. Go that way.
Yeah, that's why I like people pointing.
God, we're a pair.
Oh, turn it to the right. Why are you turning it to the right?
Okay, where can I set this up so the chaos can ensue? If it goes well, you guys are front row. If it goes bad, you're still front row.
Hey, you want to know something I just learned? Steering wheel is loose.
Good. You stand over here, make sure I'm not tearing the body up. I always end up breaking something when I do this stuff.
Oh, probably because you are.
Uphill though.
Oh no, you hit it. You just didn't do anything.
Didn't do anything?
It slid.
I think we're too high now. Probably you stand there with your feet on it like this. It's gonna run you over.
Put your foot right here so you can
Alright, let's try this again. Block of wood moved. Here we go. should have used four-wheel drive, John.
Probably.
Military tires are not the best at...
Now, if you hook this wheel to the trailer and you pull your truck forward, I mean, I think I'm gonna reach down and fill that one to air.
Look at that cool burnout it did.
Yeah, neat.
Now, keep in mind that these tires have got to be a foot wide. Where's that tape measure, John? Look how wide those things are. That's why they're steamrolling it here. Oh, so you're saying leave that hooked, pull the front from there downhill. You're gonna use that air hose to pull on it with? Nah, John, that's not gonna work.
I'm filling that tire with air so it's got less ground contact.
Oh, so instead of having 12 inches, you're trying to get rid of 14 inches, huh?
Well, that's like, you know,
yeah,
1.5 feet wide by a
So this is a quick time to write in the comment. Pink, should we keep it or get rid of it? Jelly bean mags, woo! I think get rid of the pink. I think black, modernize it. Otherwise, I don't know. The story is the reason they did it was because they had 14 cans of pink paint and they were drinking beer and they had 1 can of black, which they put in there. So, yeah, that'll do it. I think we're almost there. We'll use that bathtub over there as a pivot point in the middle of the door, and we got it.
Perfect. Great idea.
Yeah, don't worry about a thing, you're gonna love it.
That's as much air as I'm putting in that tire.
Oh, you don't want your face blowed off?
Well, there's a big
gash?
sidewall crack, yeah.
You don't want your face blowed off? So you really want to pull the bottom downhill?
I think it'd make the most sense, especially since those are skinnier tires.
So we pull on that bracket or attach it to the frame?
No,
yeah,
hook it to the wheel. It's only got 3 lug nuts on it.
That's a good idea. So as you can see, I'm going to straighten the bumper since I'm here anyways. Doing body work for it, make it run.
There you go.
Better?
Yeah, it's the same amount the other side is.
So you're saying it needs more? Anybody recognize the bumper? The guy said it came off a 40 Ford. Or Chevy, I don't know. Oh man, as soon as I bump into something, I got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we changed our plan. We're trying to use logic and reason.
Instead of brute force.
If we were to push this underneath here, on the oil pan, right?
Well, yeah, we're not using that engine.
Okay, here's a cross member. All right. All right, here we go. We jack it up, we should be able to push it downhill.
Should be able to.
Now I think I showed this on a video earlier, John. They cut the springs, made it low, and then they go, oh, we need some of those spacers, it's too low.
Huh, perfect. I guess that's what happens with lowriders.
Yeah. Why did jacks make that noise? Should have swept it first.
Probably.
I think we need to pull it back that way more.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, let's go shorten that chain up.
Let's push this down another 3 or 4 feet. Pepto-Bismol, we should call this thing Pepto.
Okay.
Pepto the Willys.
Pepto the pink Willys.
Yeah.
You know, I think we're dealing with a lot of pink.
You remember when, that's why our estrogen is so weak we can't push it downhill? I think it's because all this track. Remember when I said I didn't want that Ford?
Yeah.
The crew cab because it was too much work?
Yeah.
Remember when I said
And then you got this?
Remember when I said I didn't want this because it looked like a lot of work? What is wrong with me?
I don't know, something.
Yeah, let's show them your genius plan here, John.
What genius plan?
So our genius short in the chain plan is, oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, it's on there. It's now at a mounted point.
We just put a bolt in there. I'll back this. The battery's getting weak on it. It needs to be charged. It's sat in the shop too many days in a row.
Yeah, well, it doesn't drive very well, so.
No, it's got mental, physical, and emotional issues. Old age being one of them. I hope that's something I can run over.
Oh, it is. All right, you're good there. Set you up real quick. Yeah, gas tank. Yeah.
You bleeding?
No, I'm good.
I tell you, this is the kind of stuff that hurts people.
Yeah, well, anyways, go ahead. Oh, hold on. What makes you say that?
I'm destroying the yard.
Nah, you just gotta keep the pink truck from rolling backwards.
Yeah, this thing's heavy.
No, really, I can't even push it.
Well, it didn't damage anything yet, did it? Oh, no, it hit my Suburban.
Only lightly.
Now, anybody ever wondered where this was already there? Anybody ever wonder why these things get bashed up? It's because of the 70 years of moving around when they don't run. Wish that chain was shorter. Why'd you make it so long?
I put it where you had the thing.
I think we need to push it down here more. Just turn that piece of junk off. And whoosh. Home sweet home. John and I just pushed it once we got it. Once we kind of got it that way with the jack, we moved the Jeep, parked it, put the stuff back in. That was over an hour, John, almost an hour to unload that thing.
Oh, I'm glad.
Now, I purposely loaded it backwards from the trailer, so ideally I would just roll it right up to here. But in hindsight, I should have loaded it the other way and then just put it in this way. So I changed my mind. I think I'm gonna have to pull the engine, so this will work out good, because the engine I'm gonna use was that one in previous videos right there where I painted it. And it's a good running small block 350. It will be an ideal trade for the 307, missing exhaust manifolds and spark plugs and unknown condition. Yes, we'll try to make it run, but at the end of the day, I know that's a good engine and this is a mediocre engine at best. So same, not same. Anyways, put it in the comments what you think. We'll show you some more videos on us working on it. Just put in the comments, what do you think should I do with it? What should I do? Paint it? Leave it that way? Obviously wash it, make it run. Anyways, appreciate your watching. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll get back with you in a minute. All right, good morning. Welcome back. The sun is shining. Johnny's fiddling with a clip. Anyways, we're gonna start this thing this morning. We're gonna give it a shot. We're gonna try to get it going. And I put some restrictions on myself. It's a game. Can I go with this little bit of gas, a few things on the table, fire extinguisher, some starting fluid, no parts cleaner, WD-40, a little socket set, a little tester, some screwdrivers, vice grips, a hammer, and of course the battery charger. Can we get it to run? That is going to be the premise of this morning. We've literally done nothing since we've rolled it in. That tire's gone flat.
This one over here has gone flat.
Johnny says this one's gone flat. The other two are all right, so it's 50-50. Let's lift the hood off. In fact, let me set you down. Let's grab the hood, John. Let's carry it over there. Okay, so now let's remind everybody what we're going on here. No spark plugs, no exhaust manifold. Don't know why. On this side, we got spark plugs and a manifold. Oh, we got a header.
Yeah.
So we got a header in there. Does it turn? Does it crank? Here, hold this. Let me see if I can. Oh, it's missing an alternator.
Oh, that's not a big deal.
It's not going to crank without. Oh, now that's loose too.
Oh, I'm glad.
Power steering works. Okay, we could do some barring over, or do some battering over.
Yes, let's jam the...
Yeah,
All
let's do it.
Jam the starter and the flywheel.
Exactly. This has the date of 2012. This was last licensed in 2012, John.
Wow.
If anybody who's noticed on the license plates, which I didn't care about these, I don't own this one, but the license plate on the back does not match the one on the front, and it has the 2012 date. Ooh, super start.
Yeah, we only got ever start.
That was it? Ha! Okay, well, so far I haven't had to open the shop, John.
So far.
This, mission critical.
Why didn't you get my toolkit out too?
I couldn't find it.
It's not.
What's down in there? This thing was full of pine berries and...
Oh, I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, apparently it sat under a tree, and the guy who had it before me, he had helped build it in the 90s. His buddy had passed away. He went down and collected it. He said they'd already gutted the house, and he figured the title was with the house stuff that the family threw away. Anyways, because they were friends, they gave him opportunity. Well, now his circumstances changed, and he's no longer in a position to be able to, you know, he's moving stuff. These people are a little bit older than me, so he had good memories of the truck, rode in it a few times. Look at that, they put padding around there.
Yeah, so the battery doesn't get a hole worn.
He said this thing was covered. It sat for 10 years under this pine tree. Never, ever, 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 ever park a truck under a pine tree.
What about a car?
Or a car. Don't park anything. A boat, nothing. Look at that.
Oh yeah, take away the bottom support.
Yeah, we don't need that. What the heck is that? Cardboard?
It was probably the press board. You know where they glue sawdust together?
Yeah.
Probably that.
Okay, now I'm taking away metal.
Oh, good.
All right.
I'd recommend putting down the screwdriver before we don't have a truck.
Oh.
Yeah, just stab that right through the bottom of the battery.
Can you get it out of there?
No.
Pull that cable out of the way. Like a glove. All right, I gotta clean that. Going back to my table.
Do you actually have one? No, I guess that's close.
I'm gonna assume this welding cable is positive. These guys were welders type because they made all this bed and stuff. So it only makes sense that they'd use a welding cable. Where's the other one? It was there. And then they used this antique, which is typical of the 90s builds, John. Yeah. People would build these things just for fun.
So what'd you build yours for?
Oh, that's good. Oh, let me tell you guys something. All right, lesson that Mary, instead of putting up story time with Darian, put up one that says lesson time with Darian. Here's a lesson. Let me show you a lesson. Come on, lesson boy. Okay. 12 volt, 12 volt. Got it? Got it.
Yep.
So if I ground that to there, and I touch here, I don't get anything. But if I touch it to here, nothing. Oh, I need a meter. This won't work with power. Oh, well. It don't matter. I was going to say I could bridge across those. But anyways, we can check now if we got ground on the body.
Seems to not.
Seems to not. So we got ground coming to here, but we don't. Everything's so rusty. Well, let's just see if it turns.
Yeah, come on. You got a key that'll turn the ignition.
Did we check for oil? No, because there's no dipstick. Why? Because there is none. Do you think it has water in it when it had a bird catcher like that? No. Does the carburetor even work? Oh my goodness. Yeah, this thing's ready to go.
Oh, totally.
This little piece of paper Mariana noticed the other day. She says, Dad, what's that? I said, well, that's where the dipstick is. Was. I'm going to push the pine needles out of the way. Oh, I heard it hit the bottom.
Oh, good. Oh, yeah, it'll start just fine.
There's not a drop in it! So, are there rods out the bottom?
Well, that would include us getting under it.
So do I go get some of my used oil and pour in it, and then it pours out the bottom? Did it thing throw a rod? Is that what?
Well, the guy did tell us to take it apart first.
Yeah. Well, this might be the shortest wallet ever start ever. Let's see if it'll crank. Got
Okay.
Nothing to lose now.
I'm gonna go stand over here.
Park, huh?
I guess you should. In case it decides to start.
Well, I don't even do that.
Works great.
Yeah. Okay, so that's our power for our alternator. Remember we couldn't get a ground back there, so...
So what, you think you're gonna get a ground up here?
Yeah, maybe. So far, not good.
Oh,
well, I saw it blink. Okay, so we're getting power to there.
Oh, good. So the starter's bad.
No, the key switch isn't working. Let's see if we can jump across it. Should we just take that header off?
Yeah, even it out.
Yeah, let's... Alright. Let's pull this header off. See if it'll turn. And then we can work on the starter that way, because... Well, we're going to have to remember 1-843-6572. See, I know that stuff too, John.
I don't.
Yeah, it's written down there somewhere. If not, it's... This turned out to be a 1969 through 73 Chevy 307 with Cannon cars and trucks. 119 horsepower or 200 horsepower. I don't know. I didn't read the little plate right there yet. So, what are those? 3/8? Oh, did I? Well, I don't need it. See, I'm still sticking to my rule. Getting it to run.
I use the vice grips.
Getting it to run with the tools on the table. I am less likely for that to happen. 7/16. Header bolts.
So you think you're gonna break them or round them off?
Oh, they'll come right out. I think that's too long.
I think it's too short.
Look, it's already getting leaves on it.
Weird. It's like it's fall and there's trees around us.
See, they didn't put the hard ones in. They just put the easy ones in, so...
Oh, good.
This will make it easier in a few minutes when we're pulling the motor mounts. Not have the exhaust in the way. Now I said make it run, or not make it run. Pulling the engine, I don't think I have the right tools over there. I don't have a 9/16 or a 5/8 or anything for me. Ah.
You also don't have an engine lift over there.
Yeah, so
There's a few things.
like I need a combination wrench. I'm gonna have to open the shop, get this one header bolt out. I can see it's already been driven into the... We're just doing all this to see if we can get it to turn. We could put a wrench on the end, but I want to hear
Good, but you don't even have that over there.
We don't even have oil in it.
That's minor details.
Alright, well, why don't you do this? You turn off the video, and I cheat by going and getting the wrench I need to finish the last 2 bolts. And then you put it on and we say, ta-da! We did it with the tools on the table.
Alright.
Has anybody else ever had that, John? Have you ever had it? Ever notice how header bolts are always loose?
Well, I haven't noticed that, but that's because this is the first time I've even seen headers being taken off.
Yeah, you gotta use these bolts because when they make them, they don't give enough clearance for some reason. The manufacturer knows that, but they still like, oh, we don't care. Oh, that's your problem. Everybody wants a cheap pair of headers. Cheap, 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 so they can make it work. Well, why don't you build a quality set for cheap? Can't be done. Like, they don't know how to press that in right there so you could actually put a box end on a wrench.
Well, then if you pressed it in, that'd be a restriction.
Yes, exactly. But you can put it on.
And it's been proven that you can smash those with a hammer and they'll still work.
Everything will work. Okay. 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 Mr. Gasket. Okay, now look how much room we got for the starter.
Not much more.
So let's see if it turns with half compression, half not. Now what I know about these, John, is that back here, this one is your starter one, this other one is your ignition one. So you want to be able to get that one back there. Go. And this is what you do with it. Alright, I'll put a light on it so you bump it on that terminal. And then you bump it on that terminal. I think it's locked up.
I think it's a perfect engine that has no issues whatsoever.
I think we're going to pull the radiator next because we're well on our way to pulling an engine. I mean, we're practically there. All right, so history lesson. Anybody been with this channel long enough remembers I did a burnout over there in a red 1977 Chevy truck. I bought the truck. I told you I was going to use the engine in my Z car because I had all the parts. Then this gem came along. And now I have that engine that I've painted sitting on the stand that we know runs. And then this gem came along. So I have opportunity here to make this one run with that engine. And then take this engine, we'll pull it apart, do all that. But meanwhile, you guys also remember I had a 48 Ford in there with a flathead that I was supposed to be working on. And somehow my ADHD has gotten me over here on this project with the zip ties.
Well, yeah, but you said that the 48 Ford was going to be during winter.
Yeah, you're right. It ain't winter yet.
Still fall.
Way to help me out. So then, yeah.
Well, flexi hose.
Yeah, there's a guy in North Dakota who don't like flexi hoses.
There's two of them on here.
I think they're a problem when the rust gets in there and the springs collapse and then they go into the water pump and stuff. But in some cases, it's about the only thing that makes this stuff work.
Yeah, some cases.
So anybody who's been watching this channel long enough will also know that last year, I think we were working on the Suburban, Mariana took my radiator hose tool, and she used it to, see, it was a hook tool you put in there and you would go around and it would pop that. She was trying to pull something and broke it, and then I never have gotten another one. Anyways, if you get something under there, you kind of, see, we don't care about the hose as much, John. We care about the radiator neck. And sometimes you'll twist them off.
What? You have spare radiators all over the place.
Yeah. All right, this is part of the problem of those springs. They rust inside there.
I'll make them out of stainless steel.
Now, oh yeah, you can definitely do better. I actually end up keeping these. John knows I have a whole box full of them.
Sometimes they're handy. And sometimes you buy new ones anyway.
Yeah, it's a 50-50. Now we just messed with some of these lines.
Yeah, you think they'll ever go back on?
Oh, put that on pause. Okay. I can't make it run with the tools on the table. You guys win, I lose, whatever. Let me go show you a tool that I always keep talking about. Let me go get, hold on. I do like Willys. I've had several of them, which is part of the reason. I always say I didn't want these things.
And then you end up having more of them.
But I don't want the work that goes with these things. That's different. Anyways, Willys has always had a really good tool bench right there.
Yeah?
Yeah. Okay. So what I brought out there, this clamp there. Now I'm going to salvage all those clamps. Oh, look at this. Wasn't going to work anyways, John.
What, the big gash in the side?
Did I do that?
Maybe.
Did I do that? All right.
So what tool were you trying to show off?
What keeps?
Line wrenches?
Line wrenches.
That's what you were trying to impress the people with?
Because it got 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. I think we've talked about this before. But I'm always getting new subscribers. New subscribers, welcome aboard. As I will tell you, this is not the channel
for doing it right.
No, we're gonna do it right. But this is not the channel for high-end dollars, new projects every. This is crap I normally would be doing with my life. I'm just simply bringing you along and showing you. I would buy this Willys Jeep even if I didn't have a YouTube channel. Any chance of saving this, you think?
50-50.
Yeah. You know what else I like about cheap ass these? It just scratched me right there.
Then cut it off. What are you?
I'm going to. I don't know what it is, but they must make zip ties out of razor blades or something. Get rid of these.
At least old zip ties.
Get rid of this junk. Yeah, get on out of here, you. Oh, and you always want to leave your tip of your knife out just a little bit, just so later you can
drop it into your foot.
Yeah. Now, history lesson. I've never owned a Willys that didn't have the grill cut out. Okay, originally this grill was part of a big, well, it was like a fan shroud thing. And you'll see that this one's all been cut out. The headlight buckets are always cut out. It's pretty typical. I have modified these over the years, but the time I get them, they have been through a couple of life cycles.
Also, every time you get one, it has a V8 in it.
Oh yeah, yeah. These things are horribly underpowered, so everybody threw a small block Chevy in them. I got all kinds of adapters and transmissions and stuff for these Willys. If you ever wanted to put one in there. In fact, that engine, that Suburban full of Willys I bought because it was the way to go.
Yeah.
Okay. Come on, radiator, you can do it. Anybody remember these 1990s flex fans? This whole thing was built with, like I say, this was stuff that was done in the time. I believe it's a Chevy car frame underneath of this. It's got drum brakes all the way around, 10-bolt Chevy rear axle. So most likely they cut down, well, he couldn't tell me if it was a front clip and then the Willys frame, so we'll have to jack it up and look. But he says, no, we just set it on top of something else. And he didn't do all the work, the guy I bought it from, but it was his pals that he ran around with, and he was an older guy now. And anyways, the Jeep had come to him because somebody called and said, hey, if you want this, come get it. And so he did, and that's been 2 or 3 years ago. All thread bolt. Check it out.
Neat, neat. That'll hold the alternator on there, if you had one.
Yeah, well, I got a couple in there. Some even work.
That won't be the first one we put on.
No, we can buy one too. I think there's one on that engine in there. See that engine in there, John's got exhaust manifolds, carburetors that work, starters that run. Even has the right flex plate on the back for this Turbo 350.
Oh, perfect.
So, I mean, it was like destiny.
Never matter.
You're my destiny. My what? Back to the Future. McFly, do you know what would happen if I turned in my homework and your handwriting? You don't catch any of these references, do you, John?
I've watched Back to the Future before.
Yeah? Well, that was on the TV about the time this thing was being built, so that tells you how old it is.
No, I thought this truck was from the 50s.
No, this remake, this building,
this hot rodding of it.
Ironically, the truck's from the 50s. The movie takes place in the 50s, but yet it was put together in the 80s, and this truck was put together in the early 90s. Okay, so you see how that all works together?
No.
Come on, Mr. Gasket. Get it together. Do you still buy Mr. Gasket stuff, or is it all long gone?
I don't know.
Whoa, check it out. Do you think they had a problem here?
No.
2 clamps.
They just wanted it to stay on there.
2 clamps. Man.
Oh no, I lost one of those clamps. Oh, that's fine, just put another one on there.
We're gonna save this radiator. Well, maybe this one's bad. Oh, there it came off all the way. Making it easy. Now this is where I usually like a hammer or a 2x4 or something to bash right there, and it'll knock it right off because I don't love the hose. What do we got around here for bashing?
I don't know. You got a hammer and an exhaust manifold over there.
Got some glass. That's 50s glass, Subaru glass. What else kind of glass we got there?
Daewoo.
Is there some Daewoo glass there?
Yeah. The stuff in the back's the Daewoo stuff.
Yeah, Subaru Brat stuff up front.
Mm-hmm.
This is the other secret to it, John.
You dull your knife out on the metal.
Oh, it's only the tip that gets dulled.
Still dulling the knife out.
So? You got a peeler. Give her the old 1-2. Whoa, that's a good sign.
Yeah, it's a great sign.
Whoa, this is a bad sign.
Only for you.
Come on, Willys.
You just gotta take it off there and it.
And then you gotta take it off there and there.
Nah.
Which is then, well, why don't we just go ahead and take out these other bolts and pull the hole. All right.
You think too much.
Put it on pause, because this is going to take us 10 minutes to take all these out. So we pulled these rods out as part of looking at it. Look, John, the motor mount has already been pulled. So somebody was doing something to this.
They're getting ready to take it out.
You remember he was saying he was going to build a big motor for it, instead of just saying, you know, the engine in it is no damn good.
Well, every time you said you were going to try to get it started in there, he said, oh, you should take it out and take it apart first.
Look, there's no motor mount in there.
Oh, well, then this should be easy.
Did they get all the bell housing bolts? Because why would they do the easy stuff and then leave us the hard? Let's try to bang this up. All right, watch your feet. Oh, yuck.
Make sure you punch a hole through that radiator.
I'm working on it. Do I put it in the radiator pile?
There's a couple radiator piles.
Oh, you know what? I'll put it in the back of the truck, because then I'll know it goes to this one.
Nah, we should put it in the back of a different truck.
I would sure hate any of that antifreeze to go into the open gas tank.
Oh, and just like how the rain for the past, like, 2 weeks have been going in there.
Well, there is a rock in there.
Wow, nice. Perfect.
Let's
see if you can...
Yeah.
There it is.
I don't think it's going to turn, but... Let's do this. Let's pull that fan off. Yeah, let me get an impact gun. We'll just buzz all that, and then it'll be ready to go. Oh.
Was there pine needles behind it?
Not yet. Lost.
Oh, good. I'm glad. We don't need that one.
It's a finger chopper here. Reminds me of the joke about the carrot slicer.
There's a joke about carrot.
Yeah, it's not appropriate. It's a refinery joke.
I imagine.
There we go. We're gonna need all this stuff, don't you think, for the new engine?
No.
I like pickups because you can just put it right back here and pick it up later.
Wow. What a nice pun you just made.
Yeah, we can just pick that up later. So, because of this, should we just go ahead and pull the front dress right off?
No.
Basically, we got that and 4 bolts and the water pumps out of there.
Nope.
I already got the socket right here.
Nah.
You're trying to stop me from success again, Jonathan.
Yeah, that's my whole goal in life.
You're doing a great job. I don't need those extensions, but
it looks funny.
We got them. This one keeps slipping apart. The ball on it is...
Or it's the other part.
No, the ball is stuck on that one. Got it.
Sure about that.
And that bolt was there for this one. So you gotta keep all these parts together.
Right, you should.
But the other one has one. But you should keep all your parts together.
What? No, you only need half the bolts. I mean, why would they design it with so many builds?
I would
if
think.
you could forget it.
I think they made how many ever millions of these small block Chevys, but I would think you're not American unless you've taken one apart in your life.
I guess toddlers and stuff aren't.
I mean, it's a rite of passage to take apart a small block Chevy, isn't it?
Who knows?
Difficult. You're being difficult.
No, you're just the one struggling.
Now, well, I'll tell you what I know about GM power steering units, John.
They don't growl as much.
You hold on to all the parts because they are not as interchangeable as you think they should be.
What makes you say that?
They are hard to get pieces for if you don't have pieces for them. Now that'll just sit there. That lives there. That's part of the truck. You don't ever want to take those off with the... See, this one has the water pump that matches. You got to have that thing.
Well, I guess it has a hunt out a proper water pump.
Because that goes through there and holds it. You got to have the whole shebang. If you don't have the shebang, then you don't have the shebang.
So you're saying at the end of this, we might just have to rebuild this motor and put it back in?
No, because the one I have over there has all the parts, so I'm thinking I could just trade it right in here. If not, this water pump has to go on. Whoa, what's going on here? So when you got a bunch of extensions, all your torque goes into the vibration of it?
Uh-huh.
The socket got warm.
Oh, I'm glad. You got hand warmers now.
Well, I got hand warmers. You think it could be rust?
No. I think it's red Loctite.
Oh, I hope not. Okay.
I'm glad the thing that's slowing you down is one zip tie.
Okay.
Okay.
Now because it matters, put those back in the same spot.
What? That wouldn't matter. Why would you ever need those in the right spot?
All right. Dynamite.
Dynamite.
Anybody remember that one? Dynamite. I like to get this out of there.
Napoleon Dynamite?
No, John, it's older than that. Back in the 70s, they had TV shows too. And there was a fella that had a saying, JJ something. I don't remember his name right now, but
You're not gonna clamp onto the nuts on there. You're gonna clamp onto the threads.
I'm gonna clamp onto the threads because I wanted to see how tight it was. It's tight. So yes, I can do the nut job.
Oh, you're a nut job guy.
Still not using tools out of the shop unless I have to.
Yeah, just magically the table keeps getting more tools.
Yeah, well, that's magic. I'm not responsible for magic. It's Hogwarts sort of stuff. You know, it hasn't ran in a while when you see that kind of oil buildup. But it did tell you it did run. I bet it ran great till one day it didn't.
I bet it leaked oil the entire time.
Well, at least they waterproofed underneath. Oh, yeah. This looks like something. I think I've been here before, too. This would be something I would do. Just put all thread in it. No, that's fine. We could go to the store and buy a bolt, or we could just thread that one in there about
2 threads.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's golden.
Oh yeah, that's enough. You don't need any more than that.
Now, is there crap packed in there because that should have gone further? Is that what you're saying? No, actually, it was pretty clean. They did a good job, John. Okay, so now we're ready to turn that pulley.
Turn that rock in there.
I'm going to recycle that.
You didn't even throw it into the gravel driveway.
5/8. Is that what size that is? Anybody know? 11/16, 5/8.
That size. That's what I'm going with.
3/4? No.
Then you're gonna snap it off in there.
John, it's gonna turn or it won't. I don't think it's 5/8. I don't think it's 5/8.
I don't think.
It's 5/8. Okay. See, I thought it was 5/8 the whole time.
I'm glad you're having fun here.
This one we want to put tidy. You know the good thing about buying a project like this, even though this one's a piece of junk, is that it's all together. So we could just put parts to parts and we don't have to do a whole bunch of engineering figuring.
Well, now that you said that...
I tightened the bolt. Tighten the bolt.
I heard something happening.
Yeah, I made a little creak. I tightened it real good. Let's see if it'll... Oh, it got a little wiggle. Ha! That's a bad sound.
What, the clicking noise?
Yeah, it's got rods or something hanging out of the bottom of it. You can wiggle it and you can feel it make it tight. Let's pull that starter off.
Nah.
Because...
What, you think the starter's stuck in there?
No, because then we can... It's coming off anyways, John. It's coming off in 6 more bolts and then the engine's out. So I think we're going to have to take a detour or a delay. Jack, so I can get my underneath there. Right? All right.
Left.
We'll get back to you when we get it on jack stands. So while we had the camera off and we just jacked the Jeep up, did a few things. Mrs. Just Enough Garage, who's kind of camera shy. She, anyways, this is our thing, John and me and Mary. She came out wearing a jacket that matched this color.
Same color.
And I'm like, what are you doing wearing a jacket that matches this? She has thoroughly invested herself into thinking that this is hers because I said it could be hers. Now it's hers. She always likes resto mods, so putting the small block Chevy in it. We have another project that probably will be next week on the channel. But we have some ideas for converting this truck into something useful. Anyway, she just threw the idea of giving it a paint job. She says, but I'm going to put lace on it and then give it the paint. And I'm like, yeah, you go, because she's an artist, you know. So anyways, she says something about, well, you'll never drive it because it'll be pink. And I'm like, yeah. So then we joked. And I said, yeah, I could ride in the passenger seat. That'll help emasculate me further. And then John, my only son, stepped tall and he says, Dad, you got your own rat rod. It's just like it, that's even cooler. I says, yeah, his and a hers, and this is totally hers. So anyways, there you go. Let's move on. I pulled these 4 spark plugs. They were hand tight. They look good, but I mean, they look really good. So either the engine ran really good till there was no oil, or they cleaned them thinking that it was going to run again and put them back in. I'm going to buzz under there. I've got 3 bell housing bolts from this side out. That I'll probably do the other 3 from underneath. Do the torque converter bolts. I think because of the length of the video, I'm probably going to pull this engine out. And then I'm going to cut the video to the end. Ta-da! And I do want to pull it apart and see what's wrong with it. But I need the engine stand that the other engine's on, so I'll have to do the switcheroo to put this on the engine stand and get it apart to see what's wrong with it. So there'll be a little bit of delay on the diagnoses of the problem with this.